Give me the gun, Henry. Give me the gun.
Some TV deaths hurt. And then there are the ones that leave an entire fandom silent. The ones that made viewers stare at a black screen during the credits. No words, no reactions, just pain. Because these weren't just characters, they felt real, and when they died, television changed forever. From betrayals to heartbreaking sacrifices, these are the 20 saddest TV show deaths ever. At first, A-Train was a monster, a selfish celebrity superhero addicted to fame, power, and Compound V, the same man who exploded Huey's girlfriend without even stopping. But over time, something changed. For the first time in his life, Reggie Franklin actually wanted to become human again. He turned against Vought, became a secret informant, risked everything to save innocent people. And in the final season, his redemption came full circle. While rescuing Huey and Mother's Milk from Homelander, A-Train speeds through the city at full force. He can escape. He's fast enough. But then he sees an innocent civilian standing in his path. Season 1 A-Train would have run straight through them. This time, he stops, just for a second. And that second costs him everything. Homelander catches him, grabs him by the throat, but instead of begging, A-Train laughs in his face, mocking him, provoking him, choosing dignity over fear, and Homelander snaps his neck. A terrifying end, but also the first truly heroic thing A-Train ever did. Christopher Moltisanti spent his entire life chasing approval, from the mob, from Tony Soprano, from himself. But addiction kept destroying every chance he had at becoming better. After years of relapses and emotional collapse, his final moment arrives on a dark roadside. Christopher crashes his SUV while driving high on heroin. The car flips, blood pours from his mouth, and sitting beside him is Tony, the closest thing Christopher had to a father. He panics and begs Tony to help him, whispers that he'll fail a drug test, and in that moment, Tony realizes something horrifying. Christopher will never change. So Tony quietly pinches his nose shut, forcing him to drown in his own blood. No music, no emotion, just cold silence, making it one of the cruelest murders in television history.
Your shirt. Tara?
Tara wasn't a warrior. She wasn't chosen. She wasn't powerful like Buffy. She was gentle, kind, safe. The emotional heart of Willow's life. After surviving dark magic addiction and relationship struggles, Willow and Tara finally reconcile. For one brief moment, they're happy again. Then tragedy strikes out of nowhere. A stray bullet flies through the bedroom window, not aimed at Tara, not meant for her. It hits her directly in the chest. She looks down at the blood spreading across her shirt, turns to Willow, and softly says, "Your shirt," then collapses. And with Tara's death, Willow becomes Dark Willow. A reminder that sometimes the most painful deaths are the random ones and the unfair ones.
Nate.
Nobody understood death better than Nate Fisher. He worked in a funeral home, spent his life surrounded by grief. He constantly feared his own mortality after being diagnosed with a dangerous brain condition. But what made Nate's death devastating was how normal it felt. After surviving emergency surgery, everyone believes he's finally okay. His family relaxes, hope returns. Nate even shares a peaceful dream with his brother David, swimming together in the ocean. But while everyone thinks the danger is past, Nate quietly dies in his sleep. No dramatic speech, no final goodbye, and somehow, that made it even sadder.
No. You can start talking now, Sweets. Come on.
He's gone, Liz. He's gone.
No. Come on, Sweets.
Sweets was the soul of Bones, the young FBI psychologist who slowly became family to Booth and Brennan. And right when life was finally beginning for him, everything ended. He was expecting a child, planning his future. Then, during a conspiracy investigation, Sweets is ambushed in a parking garage and beaten nearly to death. When Booth and Brennan finally find him, he's dying on the concrete floor. But instead of anger, instead of fear, Sweets smiles. He tells them the world is good and tells Booth not to worry, then dies in their arms. A heartbreaking goodbye for one of television's purest characters.
No!
Adriana never belonged in the mafia world. She was too emotional, too trusting. When the FBI corners her into becoming an informant, her life becomes a nightmare. Ultimately, she confesses everything to Christopher, begging him to run away with her, and for one moment, it feels possible. But Christopher chooses the mob instead. Silvio later picks Adriana up, pretending Christopher attempted suicide. She believes him, until the car pulls into the woods. That realization on her face, complete horror. Adriana crawls through the dirt, sobbing, trying to escape. Then Silvio shoots her, off-screen, cold and calculated, making it one of the most emotionally brutal betrayals ever filmed.
By his ear? Yeah. You're by his ear. If he can hear it, he can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Logan Roy felt immortal, a billionaire titan who controlled everyone around him through fear, even his own children. So when Succession killed him, they did it in the most realistic way possible. Not with loud music, not with a grand speech. He dies off-screen, collapsed alone in an airplane bathroom. Meanwhile, his children receive a frantic call at a wedding, and suddenly these powerful, emotionally damaged adults become children again, begging through a phone speaker, trying to say goodbye to a father who may already be dead. It was messy, confusing, and painfully real, making it exactly how death often feels in real life.
Babe? You... Jack.
Jack Pearson was the perfect TV dad. He was loving, protective, always there for his family. So viewers spent years terrified of learning how he died. And when the truth finally came, it destroyed audiences. A faulty slow cooker causes a massive house fire. Jack saves everyone, his wife, his children, even the family dog. At the hospital, he seems completely fine. Then suddenly, cardiac arrest. The smoke inhalation damaged his heart beyond repair. Rebecca steps away for a snack, and by the time she comes back, Jack is gone, showing us just how cruel reality is.
Routine. Where do you think we are?
Scrubs was a comedy, which is exactly why this death hit so hard. Ben Sullivan was Dr. Cox's best friend, funny, energetic, impossible not to love. Throughout the episode, Ben jokes around with everyone as Dr. Cox struggles emotionally in the hospital. Then comes the twist. The birthday party fades away, and suddenly, it's a funeral. Ben had actually died earlier in the episode. Dr. Cox was hallucinating him the entire time because he couldn't accept the grief. The realization breaks him, and it broke viewers too. Before Game of Thrones, television had rules. The main character survived, heroes won, and then we saw Ned Stark die. The Honorable Lord uncovers the truth about the royal family and refuses to play dirty politics. For that, he's arrested. In the end, Ned agrees to falsely confess to treason to protect his daughters. The deal is simple: confess and live. But King Joffrey changes his mind. In front of a screaming crowd, Ned is publicly beheaded using his own sword. And just like that, viewers realized nobody was safe anymore. Charlie spent lost trying to prove he mattered, a washed-up rock star battling addiction and self-worth. Then Desmond reveals a terrifying truth. Charlie has to die for everyone else to be rescued, and Charlie accepts it. Inside the underwater station, known as the Looking Glass, Charlie successfully restores communication. But then, the room begins flooding. He locks the door from the inside to save Desmond, and before drowning, Charlie writes 3 legendary words on his hand: "Not Penny's boat." And honestly, it was one of the most iconic deaths in TV history.
Rita.
Rita represented Dexter's humanity, his chance at a normal life, which is why her death felt horrifying beyond words. After finally defeating the Trinity Killer, Dexter returns home feeling victorious. Then he hears his baby crying. He walks into the bathroom and finds Rita dead in a bathtub filled with blood, murdered while he was busy hunting monsters, leaving their son sitting beside her body, a horrifying mirror of Dexter's own traumatic childhood. The moment Dexter truly lost everything.
I think I'm in the middle of something. There's really no need to...
Howard Hamlin didn't deserve what happened to him. That's what makes it unbearable. Jimmy and Kim spend months ruining his life through manipulation and humiliation. Finally, Howard confronts them in their apartment. He's hurt, confused, asking the question viewers were asking too. Why? Then the front door opens. Lalo Salamanca walks in. Howard doesn't understand the danger. He thinks Lalo is just another client. Seconds later, Lalo shoots him in the head. No buildup, no warning. Just the sudden death of a completely innocent man was destroyed because he stood too close to evil.
He's okay, right?
He's gone.
Everyone knew George Cooper would eventually die. The Big Bang Theory already confirmed it years ago, but young Sheldon made audiences love him first. George became the emotional center of the family, a flawed but caring father, finally rebuilding his relationships. Then, one ordinary morning, he leaves for work and never comes home. Later that day, his assistant coach and school principal arrive at the house. The expressions on their faces say everything. George suffered a fatal heart attack. Instantly. No goodbye, no final speech, just shock, making it exactly how real grief works between the loved ones.
My head. Look at my head.
Derek Shepherd saved lives for a living, then he died because doctors failed to save him. After heroically helping victims at a roadside crash, Derek is struck by a semi-truck. At the hospital, viewers watch helplessly as incompetent doctors ignore obvious warning signs. In the cruelest part, Derek knows they're making mistakes. He narrates everything internally while trapped inside his own dying body, begging them silently to order a head CT scan, but they never do. By the time Meredith arrives, Derek is already brain dead, and honestly, it was one of Grey's Anatomy's most devastating tragedies. Walter White began as a desperate teacher who was fighting cancer and ended as a legend, broken, dying, all alone. In the finale, Walter returns from hiding for one last mission: save Jesse, secure money for his family, finish everything. Inside the neo-Nazi compound, Walter activates an automated machine gun hidden in his car. Bullets tear through the building. The gang dies, but Walter is hit too. Mortally wounded, he walks through the meth lab one final time, touching the equipment almost lovingly, then collapses with a peaceful smile as police lights flood the room, marking the end of Heisenberg.
Eddie. Eddie.
Eddie Munson spent his entire life being treated like a freak. Then he became a hero without the real world knowing. While trapped in the Upside Down, Eddie uses heavy metal music and rage to distract a massive swarm of demo bats. When escape becomes possible, he refuses to run, because for once in his life, he wants to stand and fight. Armed with nothing but a shield and courage, Eddie charges the swarm alone. The bats overwhelm him, and as Dustin holds him crying, Eddie finally hears the words he needed his whole life, that he wasn't a freak and he mattered.
Back to it.
Glenn was hopeful and one of the last genuinely good people left in The Walking Dead, which made his death almost unbearable to watch. Captured by Negan, the group is forced to kneel helplessly as he chooses someone to execute. After killing Abraham, Negan seems finished. Then, Daryl fights back, and Glenn pays the price. Negan smashes Lucille into Glenn's skull. Even after the horrific injuries, Glenn still tries to speak to Maggie. "I'll find you." Then, Negan beats him to death, a scene so brutal it traumatized an entire fanbase.
Please don't! Please don't!
Joel and Ellie were the heart of The Last of Us, a broken father figure and the daughter he learned to love again. But Joel's greatest act of love also sealed his fate. Years earlier, Joel massacred a hospital to save Ellie from a surgery that would have killed her. One of those victims was Abby's father. So when Abby finally finds Joel, revenge becomes inevitable. She shoots his leg apart with a shotgun, pins him down, and forces Ellie to watch helplessly as she beats Joel to death with a golf club. No music, no mercy, just hatred, and a horrifying reminder that violence always creates more violence.
Mother. The Lannisters send their regards.
The Red Wedding changed television forever. Robb Stark was supposed to be the hero. The young king is fighting to save his family, but one broken marriage pact doomed everything. During a wedding feast at the twins, the music suddenly changes. The Rains of Castamere. And instantly, terror begins. Doors lock, crossbows fire. Talisa is stabbed repeatedly in her pregnant stomach. Robb is filled with bolts. Then Roose Bolton steps forward. The Lannisters send their regards and drives a blade through Robb's heart. Meanwhile, Catelyn watches her entire family die around her. Broken beyond reason, she takes a hostage, begging for mercy. None comes. Her throat is slit, and House Stark collapses in blood. Not just one of the saddest TV deaths ever, but one of the most shocking moments in entertainment history.